Hi, welcome to my pose of the week. This week we have Vrksasana, tree pose. I really love tree pose, one because I feel it can be quite a good entry level balance. It's a pose when we're balancing that it's very easy to keep the shape whilst using a wall for support, and I'll give you a few tips to try and help you build that balance. So we'll come straight in. So we're going to start standing the feet hip width apart. And if you're just coming into your first balance, maybe a little rock forward and back on the feet, and also side to side. So you can just feel all of the foot contacting with the floor. And we'll bring our hands to our hips to start with. So just allow the body to come to center, and we're going to drop our weight into our left foot. So just dropping the weight over into your left foot. And then you'll feel that you can start to lift that right foot off the ground. Now, if possible, and if you're working on developing your tree, you can try to bring the lifted knee up towards the hip first, and then take it out to the side. And we're bringing the sole of the foot onto the inside of the standing leg. Now, the first thing here is choosing the position of this foot. So if you're really wobbly and you're new to the balances, just bringing the big toe to the floor. So you've still got this external rotation. Most of the weight is in the left leg, but that big toe just touching the floor can help with the balance. If you want to start moving and progressing, and if you have the space, you might pick up that foot and bring it to the inner thigh. Now, if you're bringing that foot up quite high, sometimes this right hip lifts up to bring this foot in. So try and drop that hip back down. Maybe think about trying to take that right knee down diagonally towards the floor to help drop that hip. So once you've found that position with the foot, the key thing here is pushing the foot into leg and leg into foot. So we want to create this compression here. The idea we create this compression, when we release it, everything can rush back through, clearing out blockages. Once you're happy with the legs, bringing the hands to heart center. Now with the hands here, I'd recommend really trying to push the palms together so the arms become super active. So you're pushing foot into leg and hand into hand. So I almost think of this as two places of stability whilst in the posture. And then you're going to try and pick one point to gaze at with your eyes. So you're going to hold that for maybe up to 5 breaths. And if you come out, come back in whenever you need. So I'm just going to give you a little add-on. So I'm going to come to the second side. I'm going to come the way into the right leg until I feel I can pick up the left. And maybe again, I'm seeing if I can bring that knee as high as I can, flexing through the foot for a bit of control. Take that knee out to the side and bring the sole of the foot onto the inside of the standing leg. Again, dropping that left hip down. And I'm trying not to let the right hip, in this case, point out to the side. So bringing that in, so I'm lifting up nice and tall. Those hands to heart center again, pushing the palms together, pushing foot into leg, leg into foot, and picking that one point to gaze at. So the next few points to be aware of here, this lifting through the crown of the head. So in our tree, we want to create a long torso. And we can add on with the arms here. One of my favorite ones is keeping the palms engaged, lifting the arms up in front of the face. And then we bring the arms back in line with the ears. We create these little roofs over our heads. The shoulders drop down. We're still lifting through the crown of the head. And we might hold this for 5 breaths again. And then we might start to think about coming out. And then releasing. So there's a few different tips there to try and help with the balance. That compressing of foot to leg, leg to foot, the palms being engaged, and then that picking of one point to focus on. There's that idea of using the toe to the floor to help with the balance. So I'll just show you a slight variation where we can use the wall for support. So if my standing leg was my left leg, I can come into the posture with my right hand holding the wall. So I'd find that position with the foot. I've still got that compression. And then you can bring the left hand to heart center in half prayer, whilst the other hand is holding onto the wall. And then I can still work on that lifting through the chest. And it might be that after a few breaths, I see if I can bring the hand back to the chest. And then I might take it back out again. So that can be a way to work on your balance, work on your tree posture whilst using the support of the wall. There are multiple arm variations in tree. So I mentioned the one where we have the little roofs over our heads. You can have arms out to the side. You can have arms straight up, fingertips pointing to the ceiling. You can bring your palms face up to the ceiling with the fingers interlaced. Many different variations with the arms, but I recommend first starting with the hands to heart center until you can feel your balance and build up that confidence, and then start exploring the arm variations. So I hope that was useful. If you have any questions about your Vrksasana, your tree pose, please send me a message.